Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games, and today we are going to talk about February 16th. What happens on the February 16th? Oh, that's right. The Hasbro earnings call. Yes, the Hasbro Q4 earning call will be on the 16th of February. So that's coming in a couple days. 3 days, in fact. So on Thursday, there will be the earnings call. It should be really fun. And then we'll see what kind of blood is spilled on the street on the Friday afterwards when everyone trades on that information and potentially destroy Hasbro. So the Q4 earning call, what to kind of expect? Well, they're definitely going to talk about the Magic 30 product, or they're going to cover it like, hey, it happened, cool. We sold some products, cool. They're going to talk about the Warhammer decks and how much of a success that was. They may touch on Infinity a little bit because the numbers probably are still good boosting wise, but just again, some of the releases, some of the other stuff just didn't really hit for Q4 last year. Of course, dumping products on Amazon, they're probably not going to touch on that, but that didn't help a lot of what they want to do for their bottom line. Now, they are still going to talk about Fire Exit All will be one this year. They're going to talk about Dominaria Remaster being successful, being that sold really well. Because right now they need positive news. A lot of that pre-announcement that they put out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, really scared of a lot of investors. I mean, essentially they were just saying, hey guys, like it's really bad. I'm telling you right now, don't be scared when you hear the numbers because it's really bad, right? You don't pre-announce unless you know it's a really shitty quarter. And they know it's a crappy quarter, so that's why they told everyone like, calm down, it's a cushion, here, take a seat. It's like when people walk in, you're like, hey, we gotta talk, but hey, take a seat. Why do you have people sit down? Because you don't want them to fall on it. You don't want them to hear what you have to say and then fall on their ass, right? So you have them sit. Are you sitting down? Like, why do you have to ask that? When they pre-announce those kind of bad news, they're basically asking, people to sit down. And of course, coming into this, Bank of America did another piece and reaffirming their harsh downgrades on Hasbro and going into this quarter and this earnings announcement. So it's not going to look good. I think if Hasbro stock lands in that like 40-ish range, that's going to be really interesting because at some point, people are going to look and say, what are all the IPs that Hasbro, has? What are they worth? Can we slowly buy the company so we can own the IP and run a better company than the people who are currently in power? I mean, there's a lot of this kind of stuff that happens where, maybe they can win a proxy fight next time, right? So there was a proxy fight last year or a year before, where an activist hedge fund who I think they had 5% of Hasbro initiated a proxy fight where they had, voters, stock shareholders vote whether they replace the board and put somebody on their activist hedge fund onto the board of Hasbro or keep the old guard or whatever. Suffice to say, that group didn't win, but their goal I thought was kind of noble because they wanted to say, a Wizard is a great company, has good IP, break it off from Hasbro, which is a company that's basically bleeding money at this point. So WotC is keeping everybody afloat while everyone's dog paddling out to the ocean and drowning. So yeah, that's how it is. I think the Bank of America piece, the recent one, will actually have some positive impact on Hasbro. For one, they're driving the investors away. They're driving a lot of new investors who may not know what Hasbro is or WotC is. They're just saying, hey guys, like, you got to be careful. These guys are not doing good things, and they're doing really shitty things to their players, and so don't invest in their stocks. That's going to hurt their bottom line, right? For WotC and whatever. The other part of it too is that other people who may not, initially just believe whatever Bank of America analysts say, they're going to do their own investigations. But still, that's good because those investigations, you're going to yield similar results. If the company is actually reporting great results, there wouldn't be a piece from Bank of America. At the most credit I can give Hasbro is at least all of the results are questionable, meaning the way that they're running the company is questionable. I think it's probably negative. I think most people who do any amount of analysis will realize that the analysts at Bank of America got more right than wrong. And so they will probably come to the same conclusion, and that's going to drive people away. Now, why does driving people away matter? Well, it's going to lower the bottom line of Hasbro, right? So look, here's the thing. One of my teachers back in college for history class, this is like, I think it was like Asian history. She basically said this, right? If you ever want to, and this is so cool when she said it too, like she says, if you ever want to have a glimpse of some of these like civilizations, cultures, and what these people are like from history, like way back, we don't have video, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, to see what they're doing. If you want to see what they were like really back then, all we have to do is focus on their religion. What gods did they worship? What do those gods want from the people? So then you can start seeing what people are like. And she said this, and of course her example was the Vikings actually, to say these people, these pagans, they worship a separate different god from the Christians, and these gods basically said, oh, we have Valhalla. What is Valhalla? Is where you drink with all the gods, like hang out with all the angels, but the way to get there is if you have to die as a warrior. So why do you think the Vikings were so into fighting? Is because their religion basically said, fighting, good. Not fighting, being a coward, bad. Cool, easy, right? So if you want to see the motivation, the intent, the true motivation, what really matters to these people, you look at the religion. Now, let's turn this back on WotC. What is WotC's religion? It's money. Their intent, all their decision making is around money. They worship money, right? That's the stock price, that's the bottom line, that's the sales numbers, the top line revenue, how much product they're selling, how much money they can make by printing cardboard and then trading it for cash, right? That's what they want. So this is what motivates them. So again, when people say, we won a victory with OGL, I see a lot of people online saying things like, oh, we won because we made a big enough fuss. I'm gonna be honest right now, none of all the trash talking you do on Reddit matters. None of what I do on YouTube like this really matters. What mattered was everybody subscribing or unsubscribing from the D&D Beyond. That instantly overturned all of the OGL changes. See, they didn't just walk back the changes and said, oh, we'll do this instead. They took the whole thing back. They're not doing the changes. And they made this decision within a month, okay? That's crazy. That is what money does for a company that worships it, okay? The god says, hey, give me more money. The players didn't give them more money. That drove a different decision than before, right? So the fan backlash, them calling names on Twitter, Reddit, whatever, none of that really matters. Now, it does bring more attention to the problem, but really what changed things was because people unsubscribed. Okay, so that's why this Bank of America hit piece matters for Wizards for the future. Number 2, why Bank of America hit piece is so good, in my opinion, is that it calls out Wizards of the Coast specifically. So a lot of people, when they think Hasbro, they think toys, they think, like different parts, Transformers, these kind of things. They're not actually thinking Wizards of the Coast. And for so long, like what we love, our culture, our subculture, our interests, is like this super nerdy thing that people think, okay, there's like 5 people in the world who play Magic, am I right? They don't understand these tournaments that we have. They don't understand the player base. They don't understand how much money these players people are spending on this game. Now, with Bank of America highlighting a lot of this stuff is bringing all that into the forefront. It's really showing people, hey guys, there's a big market here of people who play this game and they really, really, really care about it, right? And that, I think, will have an actual effect because now more people are not just looking at Hasbro, they're looking at WotC, and they're watching how Wizards of the Coast, through Hasbro's pressure, whatever, manages those IP, grows those IPs, or are they milking their fan base and at a detriment towards long-term sustainability for the company? And this is actually really interesting, right? Because that's what's actually going to change behavior at WotC. Yes, are heads going to roll? Absolutely. If they announce another bad quarter, like Q4, which likely is, you'll see there will be some management changes. In fact, I suspect some of those changes have already happened. Of course, they're not going to announce it until later, etc., but it's going to happen, or they're going to happen very quickly after the earnings call. And here's the thing. What can we do? Like I said, with the whole D&D side of things, they decided to not buy the product, and it worked really well. But let's be honest, other than the Magic 30 thing, where have Magic players ever held the line? We are really bad, right? We're really bad at sending a signal to Wizards of the Coast, because every single bad decision that Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast makes is just honestly one more waifu secret lair away from ameliorating the problem, making it look like nothing actually happened, right? Oh, hey, we screwed you over on this thing. Hey, here's a waifu secret lair. Guess what? We buy it, we raise their bottom line, we make it look like it's totally fine, and they say, oh, it's not a big deal. We'll keep moving forward, right? And that's the problem. See, and I make this video, and I'm kind of like, I'm in the same boat. I'm not trying to, downplay this thing or, yell at you guys. I'm in the same boat. I like Fire Exia All-Will-Be-One. I like the product. So what can we do? Maybe nothing. Maybe we haven't been pushed hard enough yet. Mark, Solo Games, talk to you later.